Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing the extended USA forecast for today's second video. So as always on a Wednesday, we're having a look at the weather for the next 6 weeks across the United States, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video to say was our 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. We've got a GWV seasonal update coming up for you very shortly. So that's going to be having a look at weather the next 3 months in the UK and for northern parts of Europe as well. With the GWV seasonal, that takes us from May to July, I think. And then we will have a 10 to 14 day as well. So a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today. Please check out all our videos, like, share, and subscribe on those videos. I mean, thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, let's start off with the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly band for America, which is taking us through the current week, 24th April to the 1st of May. We can see that we've got above, we've got above average heights here, high pressure out to the west and the northwest of America, trough below average heights through central eastern regions, midwest, and into the east. Now, you will think cold air going to be digging southwards into those central and eastern and midwestern states of America around that trough of low pressure. And we see this quite nicely on the temperature for this week. So it is warmer than average across these western states, which is a little bit different to the scenario that we've had throughout the last several months. But we see significantly warmer or even hotter than average temperatures up the western side, but over on the eastern side of America and into the Midwest and then the central states and the western Midwest, actually see cold average temperatures anywhere from the Rockies right way over to the eastern seaboard, significantly cold on average this week, particularly so through these Midwestern states, actually, with temperature at almost around 3 to 6 degrees below average. And precipitation-wise, it looks like that. So quite wet over on the eastern side of America, all the way from the Gulf Coast right way up to the northeastern corner of America, generally quite wet through the eastern seaboard states. Also serving central states just here, looking quite wet. But then west of that, actually, it's pretty dry when we come into these western states of America from the west coast or Pacific coast to the Rockies, driving average. And then driving average here in the northwestern corner of the Midwest as well. We haven't got these wet conditions over in the east. If it is cold enough and mountainous enough, undoubtedly there will be the risk of some snow. And up here in these northern states as well, we see, but there could again be a risk of some snow in those northern parts of America if it is cold enough. Right, well, week 2 will be the 1st to the 8th of May. So let's have a look at that one. And we find that we've got low pressure coming back to the Pacific coast and still back trough over there in the east and the northeast. Otherwise, a ridge is probably extending through the Rocky Mountain states. So over here with this trough of low the east, you expect it to still be quite cold, actually. Right, let's do that. So if we go to the temperature anomaly, looks like this. So it's still quite chilly across most parts of America in the Midwest and through to the east anyway, with below average temperatures again, extending through from the Midwest into the eastern seaboard. Also becoming colder down the Pacific coast again, or cooler down the Pacific coast. So again, so California, New Mexico looking quite cold through there. And then in between, around the Rocky Mountain states, it actually looks warmer. So the warmth that's in the west gradually being shunted a little bit further eastwards, but cold over through the Midwest and into the east, and cooler down the west coast as well. And precipitation for next week looks like that. So turning wetter toward the Pacific coast, so that low pressure comes in off the Pacific, so becoming wetter in these western southwestern states, rather dry in the northwest though. And then into the Midwest and over onto the eastern seaboard, actually looking drier through there till we get into the far northeast, where we do hang on some of those wetter conditions. Week 3 will be the 8th to the 15th of May. So then we have a ridge up to the northwest of Canada and a trough to the west of California, you know, and coming in off Pacific. Otherwise, quite a weak signal then as we go through into week 3. The temperature anomaly is going to be cooler than average through these western, southwestern states. Bear in mind, these are anomalies to average, so we're talking about the 5th of May. It's still going to be very warm through, like, Arizona, California, but even if the temperature is like a degree or two below average, it will still be very warm or hot, of course. Over on the eastern side, it looks a little bit warmer up the east seaboard. Otherwise, it's quite a weak signal, though, through most parts of states with temperature anomaly for week 3, and precipitation looks like that. So pretty wet down here in the far south through the Gulf states, and just a little bit inland from the Gulf states, wet through there. And then as we come out into the southwest corner of America, again, quite wet through there, and some of that does extend a little bit further northwards, but otherwise it's quite a weak signal in many areas. Week 4 will be the 15th to the 22nd of May, and not much doing there, so I shall put in 2 question marks, I think, and we'll move on to the temperature anomaly, which again is quite a weak signal, but does look cooler through these western parts of America, towards the Rockies, and then over towards the eastern part of America. It looks a little bit more maybe going up the eastern seaboard, but again, very weak signals for week 4. Precipitation looks rather drier, perhaps through the Midwest and over towards the East Coast. That's a little bit wetter, quite unusually so, down towards that southwestern part of America. Week 5 will be the 22nd to 29th of May. Very, very weak signal for 500 millibar height anomaly, but we do have some sort of trough here across the north and in toward the Great Lakes, for example. And it's showing cooler again, actually, with that trough. So there's some sort of low, I think, digging in from Canada and a dip in the jet stream again. So cooler through the Midwest and into the Great Lake regions, and also backing out into the west and southwestern side of America too. And precipitation-wise, looks like that. Rather wet in the southern, southeast states. Again, a little bit unusual for May, I think that. And back into the western part of America as well. Just hints at being a little bit on the unsettled side, perhaps, through many parts of the states. And then finally, week 6 will be the 29th of May to the 5th of June. And that trough is still there, really, in the Midwest. Quite strange, that. And we've got an area of high pressure, or above average heights, ridging in from northwestern Canada and towards the far north of America as well, perhaps. Temperature anomaly, yeah, looking quite cool, really, in many parts of America, especially in the northern, central, and also western states. Looking pretty cool there, possibly hinting at being a little bit warmer up the eastern seaboard, but again, that could be mostly down to the sea surface temperature anomalies offshore, more than temperature across land areas of states. And precipitation, again, it is a weak still, but it does look a little bit unsettled, really, doesn't it? Right way from West Coast all the way to the East Coast. You could envisage, because it's 6 weeks away, so it's going to be a weak signal, but you could envisage, actually, but when we get to this, much of America through that area might be pretty wet, actually, with the driest weather up in the north. So a rather cool, I think, and mixed signal from the EC extended today for America, which, of course, we're getting further on into the spring now and heading towards early summer. You would expect weather to be second down and warming up, but it does look as though the delayed spring that we're having in both America and also northern and northwest Europe, it looks like that's going to continue for the next 6 weeks to some degree for large portions of America, with a rather cool and unsettled signal indicated there. Remember, just a snapshot, though, of what this one model is showing. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big hail warnings and large pinches of site attached, so you always need to keep that, at the back of your mind. It's a little bit uncertain, but a relatively cool and mixed, perhaps quite unsettled signal for large portions of America for the next few weeks. Right, we'll do it all over again next Wednesday, so if you enjoyed this USA forecast, then please like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment, and let us know what you think. We will be back a little bit later on, but shortly actually, with the update from the GWV season model, and if that wasn't enough, we're going to have a 10 to 14 day with all of regular features a little bit later on as well. Please like, share, subscribe on all of today's bids, and we'll see you later on for more data. But this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.